Hey everybody, my name is Greg. Welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about some spirit communication. I was talking about it in my last video. If you want to check that one out, check it out. I was talking about how I communicate with spirits, going into a state of meditation, slowing down the energy of the body, the physical body, raising the consciousness higher, and then the spirits of the upper worlds have to lower their consciousness a little bit to kind of meet you halfway. So your consciousness is going higher and theirs is kind of going lower, frequency matching. And then you have that communication going on. And I was talking about how I get that communication, and I was basically saying it's from a feeling that I get. It's a vibration in the body. That's all I got to when I was talking about it, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit more about exactly how I get this type of guidance going on. So it is like that. It is a feeling, but that feeling sometimes comes in a visual way too. It's like they're both connected in a whatever some kind of way, unexplainable kind of a way. It's a different than talking on the intellectual level. It's more of a feeling kind of a thing. Going into a deep state of meditation, once you start really slowing yourself down, getting your breathing really slowed down, your heart rate starts to slow down. I want to say like you're trying to shut off your thoughts, but you don't want to resist when you have thoughts. So these states of mind could happen or they can't. It just depends on how your energy is, and if you're really able to really get to those higher states. Sometimes we have things on our mind, and it's just not happening today. I mean, I feel like that sometimes. I want to go in there and have an experience, but it's just not happening. I end up just filtering through whatever's on my mind, and that's good too, though. During meditation, just letting the thoughts come, letting them go through, working them out. You know, it's usually like the negative things that are on your mind, or mundane things, whatever, things about life, what you got to do, tasks, different types of stuff. But when you do get to that state, at least when I get to that state, it is a type of a feel. It is a presence. It's a presence type of a feeling, but also I have the lights off too. The lights turned off, and it comes in like in a visual kind of a sense too. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's at the same time it's the feel, it's the visual too. It's the combination. They both happen at the same time. It's mostly feel, and that sometimes these visual things start to happen with me too. And it could happen with open eyes or closed eyes. When it's with open eyes in a dark room, it's more like colors, seeing some type of webs of colors, a lot of stuff going on like this, kind of a glistening type of energy, kind of a stuff. And it's a lot of times it's like a purpley and a yellowy combination, this chartreuse and purple. It's kind of like the onset of taking power plants, in my experience. When you take power plants, when you start to peak and you really start to feel it really coming on, you start to have these that type of visual visions. I mean, even Carlos Castaneda in his books, when he talks about taking mescaline or whatever he's taking, mushrooms or something, the the beginning of the hallucinations are this purpley, yellowy, chartreuse type of colors that are going on in his behind his eyes, or I think he talks even open eyes too. But it's the same thing with me. It's like I just ingested a psychedelic, even though I'm not. I don't do touch any of that stuff anymore. Psychedelics or marijuana, not even alcohol. But that's how it comes on for me. it comes in this visual sense. When my eyes are open in the dark, I start to see that. When I close my eyes, and it's really just complete darkness, because we have people have electronic equipment. Like I have a DVD recorder, and it's got the digital time clock, and that just that little glare of that light makes me be able to see things in the room. It Once your eyes adjust to the darkness, and then there's the outside lights in front of the doors of I live in an apartment, so there's lights in front of each door that automatically turn on. Even though I have my curtains closed, the light will shine through, so I could still see a little bit of what's going on in my room. But when I close my eyes and I can't see nothing and it's just pure darkness, that's when those purpley, yellowy colors, they'll start turning into visions. I'll start actually seeing different types of things, landscapes. Sometimes I've seen what was it? It was a lizard morph into a rabbit one time, and that was when I was really getting dreams, having a lot of dreams, visual types of dreams. So I started looking up the totem animals of rabbits and lizards. The lizards are associated with dreaming. The rabbits are associated with fertility, new beginnings. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of showing me that I'm using my energy for this new way of communication with the universe, with spirit, higher consciousness. But yeah, the more I get into it, the more I start trying to learn just how to sustain that actual state, because it can get difficult at times, especially when it starts happening really easily in the beginning. Once it starts happening, then you start noticing it, and then the next time you go into a meditative state of mind, you have it on your mind now. It's like, I want to have a vision. So you're kind of like thinking about it too much. You're having too much expectation. I'm having too much expectation, and that can get in the way of actually having a vision or not. You just got to let the moment happen. You can't really push energy to happen to you. It's either going to happen or it's not. It's either meant to happen at that time or not. So yeah, I could go like a few weeks without having them, and I start thinking, man, I was having them before a lot. I'm writing them down and searching, and now it's not happening. It's like I'm thinking too much. So it's about not having expectations. It's kind of like jumping into a river, and you gotta flow with however the river's flowing. You gotta go with it. Whatever it is what it is. It is what it is. You gotta, in order to control the universe, you have to surrender to it, and that's what I've been learning how to do. It's a lot of hit and miss, so I can't push it. You don't want to push it. But one thing I noticed about about seeing these colors is it's not only with the eyes, it's using the whole body as a tool of perception. It's like I'm looking through my eyes, but I'm kind of focusing on my navel area, kind of looking through. It's almost like your energy. You could sense the energy through the body, but it kind of comes through the eyes too. But then again, it comes through the body too. The vision, the visual, energetic filaments of light come through the eyes and the body. And this has to do with getting into that state. It takes time and practice to really learn how to sustain it, and it takes energy too. So eating good, doing spiritual practices, qigong, meditation is going to help strengthen you and keep you focused, following your soul's greatest joy too. That type of stuff. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about. Different ways of communication. Some people hear spirit. Some people feel it. Some people get the visual. So some people just have a knowingness about it, about what's being brought into them, what kind of guidance, you know. And it's you always want to realize that the spirits are always trying to guide you. They're just giving you advice. You know, they'll never enforce or push themselves onto you. If it's something like that coming into your existence, into your presence, then that's not a good spirit. And you got to really look inside yourself and see why you're attracting that kind of a vibe. You know, you can look at people who drink a lot, or not all of them, but people who drink or do a lot of drugs. Or I've been around people where I could sense, I don't know, man, this dude's got something. This dude's got a cloud of darkness around him. He might not even be aware of it himself. In fact, I don't think they are. But there's something there, you know, especially when someone's constantly angry and on edge and getting uncomfortable at the smallest little things, you know. And those type of people that I've seen that are like that they eat a lot of junk food too, drinking a lot of coffee, and you know, that just creates that stagnant energy in the body. You get that bad vibe, and you attract the bad vibes, the bad spirits, you know. And they can guide you in that negative way, subliminally. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about. The body is a tool of perception, the whole body, to communicate with energy, to sense energy, and to experience life. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If anybody wants the Thunder Astrology reading, I'll leave the link on the bottom. If you send me an email, I'll send you an email back as soon as I can, asking for your date of birth, time of birth, and we'll set up a time to talk. And it's a good tool for spirituality, true spirituality, really a good practical way to connect. I'm going to give you a mantra connected to a deity that's associated with a planet that's most beneficial for you based on your own personal chart. So it's going to be a personal deity for you and mantra. And this is really powerful to connect your higher, lower, middle self. So if anybody wants that, I'll leave a link on the bottom. All right, talk to you guys later.